Make today iconic.
So starting off my bracket here, there you guys can see the name of the bracket, Up Comes Sports, and then I'll create the group after I'm done with my bracket. This is my official bracket, so my gut feelings, not going to do anything special, just not going to think about it too much, but the first matchup right here, Duke against either North Dakota State or NC Central. I think the pick is obvious here. 99% of the population is going to pick Duke to win this game, so we're going to have Duke advancing, and then the next game is VCU and UCF. Don't know much about either of these teams, have not seen them play much at all, but I do have a gut feeling UCF will take this one. VCU can't really score, I know that. They're more of a defensive team, so the next game, a 5-12 matchup. We all know about the 5-12 matchups. Mississippi State and Liberty. A lot of people said Mississippi State should not have been a 5th seed. So I'm going to go off of that, and I'm going to say Liberty takes that one in an upset. So we'll have Liberty advancing, and then Virginia Tech and St. Louis. Saw a little bit of St. Louis. Haven't really seen too much of Virginia Tech except for the ACC tournament. But St. Louis, I didn't really like how they played, so I'm going to go Virginia Tech here. And then we got Maryland, who does have Bruno Fernando. They've got some size. And Belmont, who could pull off an upset, either Belmont or Temple. I think Belmont's going to win that matchup. But I am going to go another upset here. So we're going to go Belmont. I do like how they can score. So LSU against Yale. I don't really like Yale particularly. I know LSU has their problems with the coaching and whatnot, but I do think that LSU is going to rally and win this one against Yale. So we've got Louisville and Minnesota. Don't know too much about either of the teams, but I feel like Louisville is going to take this one. Actually, Minnesota. I'm going to go Minnesota here. I'm going to go Minnesota. Don't really trust Louisville that much. Michigan State and Bradley. I don't see Michigan State having any troubles against Bradley, but I do like Michigan State, like their size, like their leadership from Cassius Winston, so. Next up, we do have the West region, and Gonzaga I am going to take here. Number 1 seed. I don't think any of the number 1 seeds are going to get upset like last season or last tournament, but we are going to go Gonzaga. I feel like that's a safe pick. Can't go wrong with Gonzaga right there. Syracuse and Baylor, I do think is going to be a close game, but I like Syracuse just because of their coaching, and I am going to go with them. So we will move on. Marquette and Murray State. That is going to be a really nice game. But I do think that John Morant learned from his last tournament. He was in the tournament last season. Why do I keep saying last season? Last tournament he was in it. So I am going to go Murray State here and the Racers with John Morant. And then Florida State, Vermont. Florida State played a really good game against Duke. So I am going to take them. Pretty easy pick right there. Buffalo and Arizona State or St. John's. I want Arizona State to beat St. John's, and then I want Arizona State to beat Buffalo, but I don't really see it happening. I am from Arizona, so I will go Buffalo. They're a really good team, and I felt like they could have been a 5th or a 4th seed, so pretty good pick right there. Texas Tech, I am going to take. Pretty easy right there. They've got one of the best players in the nation, Jared Culver. And then in the next matchup, Nevada and Florida. I am going to take Nevada because of the Martin twins. I feel like they're going to come out and ball, so I'm going to pick them. Michigan and Montana. Now this one I can see an upset happening. Michigan has been up and down, but if they are healthy, I do think I'm going to go with Michigan here. So next up, we've got the South region and 1 versus 16 matchup. Virginia is going to have no problem here, even though they were the first number 1 seed to lose to the 16 last tournament. But I'm pretty sure that won't happen again, and I'm pretty sure they're going to come out, they're going to ball, and they're going to make it to at least the Elite 8. So I've got Virginia moving on. Mississippi and Oklahoma. Don't know much about either of these two teams, but Oklahoma I don't really like. I do like Ole Miss. So from what I've seen, I'm going to pick Ole Miss, however you say it. And then Wisconsin and Oregon. Oregon has been hot lately, even without Bol. Wisconsin, I don't really know too much about, so I'm going to take Oregon here in a 5-12 upset. Kansas State and UC Irvine. Kansas State has a lot of experience, a lot of good defenders. I'm going to take Kansas State. And then Villanova and St. Mary's. This is a tough one. I am a Villanova fan, but St. Mary's did just beat Gonzaga in the tournament or in their conference championship. So I don't know. This one could go either way, but I'm going to stay with my boys and go Villanova. I think Jay Wright finds a way to pull that one out. Purdue and Old Dominion. I am going to go with Purdue here. They've got a very experienced guard in Carson Edwards, so I think he gets it done. Cincinnati and Iowa. I am going to go Cincinnati here. I like their defense. Tennessee and Colgate. I think Tennessee's going to roll through Colgate, no problem. Last region right here, and that is the Midwest. And again, I am going to go with the number 1 seed, North Carolina. They are an absolute powerhouse, so don't think they have any problems in the first round. Utah State and Washington. I don't really like Washington that much. I do think that I'm going to go with Utah State here. Auburn and New Mexico State. I think Auburn, coming off of that big win against Tennessee, is going to roll through New Mexico State. So we will take them. Kansas and Northeastern. Now, Kansas, as a 4 seed, I think they can definitely be upset. If I was to pick any of the top 4 seeds that can be most likely to be upset, I think it's Kansas. I don't see them as being a problem in this tournament, but I do think they are going to squeak past the first round. But they could get upset in this first round as well. Iowa State and Ohio State. I am going to take Iowa State. I don't know why, I just have a gut feeling. But Houston against Georgia State. Houston, very solid team. Like them all around, so I'm going to take them. Wofford, who has emerged as one of the better teams and probably one of the fan favorites in this tournament against Seton Hall. Both very good teams, both very solid, but I am going to take Wofford. Kentucky and Abilene Christian. Never heard of that school, so I am going to go Kentucky. In the second round, I am obviously going to take Duke over UCF. I think they're just going to be outmatched, outmanned. Even though Duke's bench is not that great, that won't factor in the first couple of rounds. So I'm going to take Duke right there. Liberty and Virginia Tech. I got to ride one 12 seed riding into the Sweet 16. So I'm going to go Liberty with the upset here over Virginia Tech. I don't know. I feel like they can get it done. They're a very explosive team. But Belmont and LSU. This is another tough one. I don't think that Belmont can beat LSU, but they definitely have the talent to. I don't know. This is a tough one. I am going to go Belmont here. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit gutsy. And then Minnesota and Michigan State. I think Michigan State rolls through Minnesota this time, and they are going to advance. Next region, we've got Gonzaga and Syracuse. 2 great coaches right here, Mark Few and also Boeheim, but do I want to go the upset here? I don't think I do. Gonzaga's a really good team, so I'm going to go Gonzaga here. Murray State and Florida State, though, I have got to go with my boy John Morant. I think he's going to pull off the upset. But next game, Buffalo and Texas Tech. Going to be a really nice game, this one. Both are amazing teams, but I'm going to go Texas Tech here. Going to go with my boy Jared Culver. Nevada and Michigan. This could be another upset, but I don't see Michigan slipping up this time. So we are going to go Michigan, and they are going to advance. In the South region, we've got Virginia and Ole Miss. I'm going to go with Virginia here. As I said, they're going to be absolutely motivated to get to the Final Four after what happened last tournament. So I'm going to go Virginia. Oregon and Kansas State. I'm going to go Kansas State here. I like their defense, so don't think Oregon can really compete with them. Villanova and Purdue. I've got to go with my boys at Villanova. Even though Purdue, wrong pick. But yeah, I'm going to go Villanova here. I think Jay Wright has the coaching advantage. Probably a really good matchup. But Cincinnati and Tennessee is going to be a really good matchup. But I think Grant Williams and Admiral Schofield just too much to handle for Cincinnati. And then we've got the Midwest region. UNC against Utah State. UNC, very, very good team. And I'm going to take them to advance. And then we've got Auburn and Kansas. As I said before, this Kansas team is not great at all. I am going to pick Auburn. They are hot coming off of that Tennessee win. So I think they roll through and beat Kansas. Iowa State and Houston. I am going to pick Houston here. I do like them a lot. Wofford and Kentucky. Wofford does have talent to compete with Kentucky, but I think Kentucky is just too much for them. And they are going to be out of here. Kentucky will advance. So here to get to the Elite Eight, we are going to have Duke and Liberty, and I think Duke's going to have no problem with Liberty in this matchup. Just too much talent on that team. The bench will not factor in yet. And then Michigan State against Belmont. I've got to go with Michigan State here. I have to go with Michigan State. Just too much of a talent difference. And then in the West region, we've got Gonzaga and Murray State. As much as I want to go with John Morant, I don't think Murray State has enough to compete with Gonzaga. So I'm going to go Gonzaga here. And then Texas Tech and Michigan. I'm not a big fan of Michigan, so I'm going to go Texas Tech here. I think Jared Culver and the boys get it done. In the South region, we've got Virginia and we got Kansas State. I am going to go Virginia again, as I said. Should be very motivated and come out with all they've got. Villanova and Tennessee, though. I have to go with Villanova. I just have to go with Villanova. I gotta believe in the Nova. Midwest region now. UNC and Auburn. I don't think Auburn has enough. Even though they do have enough shooting to take down UNC. Don't think they're going to have enough here. So I'm going to go UNC. Houston and Kentucky. This is going to be one of the best games of the tournament. Believe me. And I am going to go with... I've got to go Kentucky here. I have to go Kentucky. In the Elite Eight matchups, we've got some great games. Duke against Michigan State. That matchup is going to be insane. And this is where the bench is going to factor in. Duke does not have a great bench at all. Michigan State has a size advantage definitely from the bench. But I have to ride with my boys RJ Barrett, Zion, and Cam Reddish. Even Trey Jones. Got to go with Duke here. I think that's going to be too much for them. But either of these two teams could win the game. In the West, Gonzaga and Texas Tech. As much as I like Gonzaga, I like Texas Tech better. Give me Texas Tech to face Duke. In the South, Virginia and Villanova. I want to go Villanova here. I really do. And you know what? I am going to go Villanova. I am going to go Nova. I know that is not a popular pick, but I got to go with my boys. UNC against Kentucky. This is going to be another banger of a game. I got to go UNC, though. I don't think Kentucky has enough to match up with the experience and the talent of UNC. Oh boy, in the Final Four, we've got Duke, Texas Tech, Villanova, and UNC. And you know what's going to happen right here. Duke is going to win this game. Just have too much talent on that team. The bench will factor in. That's why I don't think they're going to demolish any of the teams, any of the big teams. They are going to keep it close, but in the end, their star power is going to take them through to the championship game. And in the South Midwest matchup, we've got Villanova and UNC. I cannot go Villanova any further than this. They don't have the talent to get just past UNC. So I think UNC and Duke is going to be the championship. And we will move on there. This is going to be the game of games if it happens. A rematch. And I think it's going to go down to the wire. I am going to take Duke, though. I've got to take Duke. Everyone's going to take Duke. So the last thing left to do here is to create a group so you guys can join in that group. And we can have a little friendly competition. See who wins. And I will pick whoever wins or whoever has the best bracket. And I will show it in one of my videos. I'll give you a shout out. Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want to link. I'll leave it in the description. But yeah, we will go to create a group. And we'll just call it, I guess, Upcome Sports 1, and we'll make it public. Why not? And we'll go with an upset bonus. I do like that. Allow users to join post-lock. That would be fine. One bracket is fine. And so we will put my official bracket into that one, and we will see. So there you guys have it. It is going to be public, so you guys can join it whenever. And I guess we'll copy this link. So I'll put it in the description. I'll put a link in the description, and you guys can go get that. First, you got to get the app. It is March Madness Live. It is free on the App Store, and I believe Google Play, so you guys can go to that. But there it is. There you have it. There is my bracket. So